Do you think that time travel is possible? You may say no, but what if we told you that there are scientists who are planning to make it happen? They want to transport people to a distant future and thousands of participants are willing. But they will not zoom through black holes. They will not travel in spaceships or fancy cars. They will be frozen. The concept is called cryonics, where a person's body is frozen in the hope that a future civilization will reanimate it. That is the eventual aim, that one day the frozen body will be rewarmed and revived, kind of like a less gross version of mummification, with the expectation that the mummy will come back to life. Now, in day-to-day medicine, freezing is already a useful technique, albeit on a smaller scale. Doctors freeze blood cells, bone marrow, sperm, and embryos. But freezing a human body, that's another ballgame. Cryonics can begin only after a person is clinically and legally dead. You cannot start freezing before that. You have to die. After death, the procedure needs to happen quickly. First, dry ice is used to keep the body at a lower temperature, so the body can be moved to a storage facility. And once that happens, the body is put in a chamber. It is infused with chemicals. The temperature is slowly lowered further below minus 130 degrees Celsius. This cold allows the cells to survive and the body is preserved.
Much like people in a long-term coma, except there's no metabolism. So to them, no time is passing. So people say, well, if they're not alive, they must be dead. Well, no, there's kind of an in-between state, which is not really alive or dead. By kind of a crude analogy, you have daytime and you have nighttime, but you also have twilight in between because they kind of shade into one another. So in our view, dying is a process, and cryonics stops that process. It puts dying on a pause and lets you go into the future where we have greater capabilities to reverse that and bring you back to life.
It sounds like science fiction, being frozen in time, then reawakening. If successful, this would be a massive breakthrough. But it's a very big if. Even the scientific community is skeptical. Cryonics is generally viewed as a pseudoscience. In other words, quackery. While it promises to defy death, there is no proof, there is no evidence that cryonics can revive people, absolutely no guarantee or precedent.
The only group that you really see getting excited about the possibility are people who are people who specialize in studying the distant future, or people who have a stake in wanting you to pay the money to do it. I don't really see any mainstream brain scientists, physiologists, people from psychiatry who study the mind. They're not lining up saying, I think this is a sound idea. Moreover, I don't think any of them do it.
But this has not discouraged the enthusiasts, men of science, tech moguls like Jeff Bezos, Sam Altman, Larry Page included. They've pledged hundreds of millions of dollars towards this cause. 500 people have frozen their bodies already. They're now stored in vats around the world, mostly in the US. 500 people have already done it. More than 5,000 people want to follow suit. They've signed up to be frozen. Usually the takers are uber wealthy, which should not be surprising. Regular people have the real life to worry about, not the afterlife. So also the procedure costs upwards of $200,000. The rates are lower if you just want to freeze your brain inside your severed head. That happens too. Clearly, buying islands, building rockets, and planning a trip to Mars is not enough. So the wealthy are not only freezing their bodies, they're also freezing their assets. They're creating a revival trust. It is like a trust fund, except it will not be passed down generations. It will be created by and for the frozen dead. It will be saved for when they come back to life. Basically, if you're crazy rich, then your money can be immortal too. But there's a slight problem. This immortality depends on a tower of assumptions and a lot of questions. Are you alive if your body is cryonically preserved? If you are revived, are you the same person? In the eyes of the law, no. You cannot reverse a death certificate, not yet. Also, we don't know if the bodies are being frozen successfully. So far, the freezing services are crude. Soon after death, parts of the brain stop working. So imagine waking up 100 years later, if you do wake up, only to be a shell without a working brain. Kind of like a cognitive vegetable. I'm still not clear how this works, and cryonics does not have the answers, but it promises to never say never. At best, the concept comes through. At worst, We have a bunch of white walkers living amongst us.
Across continents, one powerful news source.
Bringing you diverse perspectives on the issues that matter.
We go beyond the boundaries to give you that little extra about every sporting moment.
So thank you for making Firstpost 5 million strong. We're counting on your support, and you can trust us to bring you the news unfiltered and unvarnished.
Climate change is on our doorstep. It's time for a revolution to take root. And it starts with 1.4 billion Indians. It starts with one tree for humanity, one tree for Mother Earth, one tree for a future. Project One Tree, a News 18 network initiative.
Obviously today the T20 World Cup run by defense moved across to the West Indies. What can we expect?